Welcome back to my Master Layouts series. In today's video, I'll be using Master Layouts 3 to create a clean and simple card featuring several of the dies from the Master Layouts 3. Hi, this is Annette with ASCardDesign. Let's go ahead and get started. Here is Master Layouts 3, and as you can see, there are quite a few dies in this set. They are square. They make square panels and matte layers, and when you go to the Gina K website, you can download for free the measure sheet and the card layout sheet, which is on the reverse side here. I do have a link to that website in the description below, but here she gives you some really good ideas on what you can do with these dies, some layout ideas. Now, the square dies make a 4¼ by 4¼ square card. But I'm going to show you at the end how I turn that into a 5x7 card. So stick around for that. But yes, these do make square cards, but there's so much more you can do with it. Now here is the sample card I'm going to recreate with you today. I'm going to show you how to stamp these images onto the circle dies on the set, and we will do some dry embossing with a stencil. So the stamp set we're going to be featuring is the Beach Frame. I really love this, and we're going to be using the Twirl It rope stencil for the dry embossing. Now, for dry embossing, you will need a silicone mat, and I'll show you how I do this with my Intricate die cutting machine, but you can use this technique with any embossing machine. You just need to add some shims to create some good pressure. Just as long as there's good pressure and you're not forcing it through, you should be good to go. Alrighty, so we'll start with some Gina K white cardstock, and these are already pre-cut quarter sheets. And this is the perfect size for our card front, so we won't have to even cut this down. And then I'm pulling in Master Layouts 3, and I'm going to be using the 2 stitched circles and 1 unstitched circle. So we'll pull those 3 dies, and these will create our little windows and our little die cut elements. So we'll go ahead and get that. And I am bringing in my magnetic bowl to stow away these dies in between use because I've been losing some dies lately, some little dies, and I need to use this magnetic bowl a little bit more often. So here is the Intricate machine. I'm bringing in my cardstock, and we'll go ahead and position the circle dies. And I'm just kind of deciding on the layout. And I really kind of like this setup because it's a little off, a little askew, and I kind of like that. In hindsight, that one on the far right, I could have brought that in just a little bit, but it works out in the end. But as I'm looking at it on the replay here, while I'm doing my voiceover, I should have scooted that in just a little bit. So we'll put the top plate on the platform and run that through. And pardon, the camera goes out of focus when there's a lot of white in the screenshot, so apologize for that. And then we'll just pop these die cuts out. And I think we are done with the circle dies for right now. So I'll put those in my magnetic bowl. And all the supplies are listed in the description below. They are affiliate links, which means I do get a small commission if you use the links to make any purchases, and no extra cost to you. But I really appreciate it. It helps support my channel. All right, so here is the silicone mat, and I will show you how I build the sandwich for this particular die cutting machine. So first of all, you put the platform down, and I'm just turning it around. It doesn't matter which way it goes in, but you put the platform down first and then the silicone mat, and then you'll put the cardstock right on top of that. And then you will put your stencil, whatever stencil you're using, just place that on there. And I am being careful to pay attention to what will be the top and bottom of the panel. And I'm just making sure that my stencil is on top of the cardstock. If it goes off, it's just going to create a line of demarcation, and I don't want that. So I will put the top plate on, or the cutting plate. I'm making sure my particular machine is set to 2D embossing, and I'm tightening up the tension just a little bit. I want a snug tension, but I don't want to have to force it through the machine. You never want to force anything through the die cutting machines because you can break the rollers, or just break your dies, break your embossing folders, and you just don't want to do that. I did have to tighten up the tension just a little bit because I could tell it wasn't very snug when I ran it through the first time. So I adjusted that, and Here I will show you the panel, and I dumped everything, and thank goodness for that magnetic bowl. But there's the embossed image right on the panel from the stencil, and I think it's so cool. Now you could define it more and take a small ink cube and gently rub it over there to make that really pop more, but I wanted to leave mine white. All right, so now we're bringing in my Misty, and we're going to do some stamping. So this is cracking me up right now because I'm placing that panel in there and then positioning these die cuts where they go. And everything looks like, okay, this makes sense. And then I'm taking the panel off. But this step is totally unnecessary. I don't know what I was thinking. Obviously, I wasn't thinking, but you don't need to do that. Just I'm using my grip mat to hold the die cut pieces down. And that's all you need is to hold them in place. So I'm bringing in the beach frame stamps, and I'm going to start with the sandcastle. Wait till you see how this stamps. It's so cool. There's so much detail. I'm going to stamp that in Sandy Beach, and this is premium dye ink. And so we'll just pick that up with the Misty and go ahead and stamp that, get some ink on there. I've been using this stamp, so it's already conditioned, but if you were using it for the first time, you would want to rub your hand or your fingers over it or stamp and wipe it off just to get the manufacturing residue off. And that way the ink will stick to it a little bit better. All right, so I stamped it twice, and there you can see the fun image. Now you could color it in. I'm leaving these just stamped images, super easy, just an easy card design and an idea. And feel free to copy it or adapt it to whatever you feel like doing. I don't mind if you copy my ideas at all. All right, so I used my pick and stick tool to get that off of the mat, and I'm cleaning off that ink that was spilled over there. And then we're bringing in this, I believe it's a blue heron or a crane. And here you can see I'm moving my die cuts. So obviously I did not need to do that earlier step. So we'll go ahead and pick him up, and I'm going to stamp him in a different color ink, and I'm using blue denim. This is one of my favorite blues. I love cadet blue so much, but I also love blue denim, and I've had this ink pad for probably 2 years, and I've never re-inked it, and I use it a lot. I'm going to stamp him twice. And this is another stamp that has so much wonderful detail. And so we'll give that a wipe off. And then I thought it needed something else. So there was a lot of white space on there. So I thought, well, the stamp set has a very small palm tree. And I thought that might look cute. So there he goes. He's going to go into that space, and we're going to stamp him as a silhouette stamp in black onyx. Now just because it's a silhouette stamp does not mean you need to use black. You can use any color. It just means that the image is solid once you stamp it. So I'm going to get that down. And then I think I'll stamp it one more time. The black onyx does dry back a little bit lighter, so I wanted to make sure when it dries it is black. And then what I'm doing here is I wanted to stamp it again. So I wiped it off, and I'm just pressing it into the palm of my hand. I want it nice and dry before I position it back onto that die cut. And I just thought a grouping of 2 trees would look nice here. So I'm just positioning it where I want it, and I'm going to stamp it again, do the same thing. And I like how, I'm glad I did 2, because the one just kind of looked a little lost, a little lonely. So now we have a pair of palm trees. And that piece is done. So we'll get that little stamp put away, and then we're bringing out the larger palm tree in this stamp set. And I'm going to position it a little bit higher up on that die cut piece. I want the palm tree to be over top of, I want the leaves to kind of spill over onto the stitched outline. So I just kind of wanted it to bleed out a little bit. And I like the positioning of that. Now, if you look closely in the center of that palm tree, there's something on my stamp. I don't realize this until way after the video is done and I'm taking photos of my card. But something was there was something blocking the ink from inking the stamp. So I have a big white spot dead center in the top of that palm tree. But I'll fix it later, and I'll tell you how I did it. I won't show you because I didn't discover it until after the video was done filming. But from the same stamp set, we're using the Thinking of You, and I'm stamping that in blue denim. So while I'm doing that, what I did to correct that mistake on the palm tree is I took a Q-tip and I just dabbed it into the black onyx, and then I dabbed it onto the stamped image, and it covered it up. So very easy fix. Okay, we're bringing in the coordinating die, and we're going to die cut this greeting out. And for that, I'm using my little mini intercut. I just love this little guy so much. It's just perfect for these little die cut pieces. So I ran that through, and I will run it through again. I often like to run 2, maybe 3 extra pieces. I should say 1 or 2 extra pieces for my greetings, and glue them together to stack them. So it gives them a little bit of dimension, especially if I'm not going to use foam tape. And just glue them right onto the panel like I am going to do for this card. So just using my pick and stick tool to poke out that little center, and then we'll go ahead and get that die cut in the magnetic bowl. It's a little one, so I don't want to lose it. I've already lost one of the banners from this Master Layouts 3, and I can't find it anywhere. I've went through my craft room with a fine-tooth comb, and it is gone. I don't know where it is. And so I'm just gluing these 2 pieces together. And this is just a really easy tip, and just take your time and walk your fingers around, make sure, all the edges are even, and then just let it set for a minute for that glue to set. And then I found some cardstock in my stash that's kind of like a beachy color. And like I said earlier, these pre-cut panels from Gina K are a US A2 size already, so I don't need to trim it down. Just taking some mint tape to smash my card down flat. And then I'm going to put some glue down. I'm just going to speed this up a little bit. Put some glue down on that panel, and then we'll just line it up onto the card base. Super easy to do since they're the same size. And if by chance your cardstock is a little off when you cut it, sometimes they're not perfectly straight. If there's any card base showing, you just take it to your paper trimmer or just a pair of scissors and trim it up, give it a little haircut, and you're good to go. All right, get that tape out of there. And then now we're going to go ahead and put this card together. All right, so for those little die cut pieces, I am going to pop those up with some Gina K foam squares. These are the 1/2 inch. And I'm not going to I'm not going to be over adhesive madness here. I'm just going to put one in the center, and that will be enough. And we'll just remove the backers. And then I am going to bring in my reverse tweezers, just it's easier for me to hold them. And what I'll do here is put a little bit of the Gina K Connect glue on the foam squares, because those are very sticky, and once they stick, they are stuck down. So I wanted a little time to be able to position these, so the glue helps me to be able to move them around right where I want them to be. But you can see that just that subtle loft from these foam squares. I'm going to bring you in a little bit closer. I just realized I was a little far out here. And so again, just adding some glue to the foam square. We'll get that positioned. This is a real easy card to make. I hope you give it a try. Let me know if you like the dry embossing technique, if you've done it, or maybe some other ideas that this is sparking. Let me know. I read every single comment, and I love to hear your ideas. And I do really appreciate all the comments that I've been getting, and the likes. I really appreciate your support. Trying to grow this channel, as you all know, if you've been with me a while. We're trying to reach 5,000 because I have a special video from my brother, Jim, that I'll publish to celebrate that big milestone. Okay, so I'm just gluing down the Thinking of You, and that is the finished card. Now, I really, really like this card. So I wanted to show you, since I'm using a brown base or a tan base, I will put a panel in there. And that I cut with my Tim Holtz Decal Edge paper trimmer. And I'll glue that in later. But that's the finished card. And you can see I still have that white spot in that middle of that big palm tree. Oh boy, I can't believe I didn't notice that. I guess when you're crafting, you're just focused on so many different things, and that little detail didn't even register with me. All right, so here's some other ideas. So this is, I used the square dies and the matte layer, the stitched layer and the matte layer, and also the circle, the large circle, the stitched circle, and the matte layer. And I cut those out. I cut the matte layers out of black, and then the panel layers, the square panel and the square or the circle out of white. And then I ran them through the Blossom Trio embossing folder, and I just positioned them into the folder and ran them through, and then I glued them onto their matte layers. And then I cut out the banners and thank you. I honestly don't know where that thank you stamp came from, or even it might be from the sentiments from Gina K. I just had it in my bin and I used it. And then for the card base, I took my card base through my scoring board and just ran it. Just did a score line like every ½ inch or maybe every ¼ inch. It doesn't matter, but I just wanted to make lines to give it some interest. And so I want to show you, my last example is the 4¼ by 4¼ card. And this is a top folding. But again, I just found a background panel that I had in my stash and I die cut it, cut out the matte layers in gold or a rose gold. And I ran the white die cut through the tapestry embossing folder. And then I added some elements, some die cuts, and a congratulations onto that banner. Now, this is like I said, a 4¼ by 4¼ square card. So you'd have to, get an envelope that fits or make one. They're easy to make. But I am going to show you how to turn this into a 5x7. So all you have to do is take a 5x7 card base. And if you're doing that, you don't need to adhere the other pieces onto a 4¼ by 4¼ base, completed folded base, but you just need your die cuts, and then you can just glue them right onto the 5x7. And I showed you how you can put that greeting down to balance it out, or you can just center it. But that's how you can turn those smaller die cuts into a larger card very easily. And I'm just showing you here that card base is 4¼ by 8½, and it's scored at 4¼ But again, you don't have to do that base if you're gluing these onto a 5x7 card base. And that's it. Those are my 3 ideas. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I had a lot of fun with this Master Layouts 3. It was a little challenging at first because, you look at the square dies and you're like, okay, what do I do with that? But there's so many things you can do with. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please give it a like and subscribe. And be sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next time I post. Be sure to check out the rest of my Master Layouts series. I'll link that here at the end of the video. And until next time, have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.